Anthropic's Claude in Excel is amazing, I'm sure you've heard. So in this video, we're going to talk through how to install it and then some of my favorite use cases so you get a sense for how amazing it is and you start using it immediately. Let's go. If you haven't already installed Claude on Excel, go ahead and go to marketplace.microsoft.com. You'll drop into this screen right here and then just type in Claude by Anthropic and it should show up right here at the top. You can see the PowerPoint and the SaaS options there. And then right here, you just click Get It Now. Once it's been installed, it should appear up here in the top right as an add-in. Click on that, and it's actually going to ask you to log into Claude. So you're going to have to use your Claude credentials just so it can verify that you are either a Pro or a Max subscriber. Once you do that, you're going to come back here and you'll see that one, it's still in beta, and that two, you can use Claude and Excel and PowerPoint until March 19th at double usage. So take advantage of that. Okay, so let's take a quick tour of what we've got on the screen here. First off on the bottom, you've got these double play buttons here, or fast forward, and that allows it to accept all edits versus asking you before it makes edits. Down here, obviously, you can add files, photos, you can search the web, you can include connectors. We're not going to do any of that right now, but just know that it's there. And then obviously you can choose your model here, 4.6 being the latest and greatest as of March. Then if you head up here and select settings, you'll see a session logging option here, which is basically just Claude maintaining everything that transpired in a separate sheet for you, which is pretty slick. And then you have let Claude work across files. This is limited to other Excel files and PowerPoint files that are currently open. So I won't dig into your documents and look at other files, only the ones that currently are open. All right, so we'll leave those both off for now and go back here. Lastly, over here, you've got move and resize, which is pretty cool. So let's say you want to move it over to this side, it'll just snap, and then we want to move it back. Great, do that. And then resize, obviously, if you wanted to take up more or less of your screen. I'm just going to go back to kind of the default size, which is right there. All right, great. So just to get us kicked off with one of my favorite use cases, we're going to go ahead and prompt it with create 5 columns filled with dummy data from 2025. Here are the headers: data, expense detail, expense category, amount, business unit. Name the tab expenses. Okay, so we'll run that and come back when it's done. Okay, we're done. Very cool. So not only did it add the column headers and change to expenses and add all the dummy data in here, it also formatted the sheet so that the columns have been spaced properly so it's easy to read. So this was a great success. All right, cool. Let's move to the next thing. Now I'm going to say create a new tab with a pivot table based on the expense data. Excellent. Let's run that. And if you guys haven't had an opportunity to work with pivot tables, now's your chance. Usually they're kind of tricky to set up initially, and when you have Claude do it, it's done for you and it's great. So it's given us a pop-up question here: category by business unit by category, monthly by business unit. Let's just choose the first one here and we'll let it work its magic. Looks like the pivot table has been created. So let's take a quick look around here. Notice that you've got the Claude button here and then this pivot table fields button here. So you can kind of flop between the two. And then we have our column labels, all the various departments in the organization. You have totals on the side and on the bottom there. And then pivot tables are really cool. So let's say I want to change the rows and the columns, flip them around. So now I've got all of the business units here, and then I have all the expenses here. And then if I want to just, I don't know, pick on engineering, for instance, we can just change it to that. And I'm not going to spend much more time in pivot tables, but they are pretty slick. If you have an opportunity to play with them, I highly recommend it. The next thing we're going to do here is create some actual visuals. So based on the expense tab, create a few charts and graphs in a new tab that help identify any anomalies in the data. All right, so let's run that. Now that's done. So let's take a look at what we've got here. I'm actually going to close the Claude button there so that we can actually take a look. Individual expenses with outlier threshold. So this is cool because it gave us the mean and then 2 standard deviations from the mean. So we can see what is definitely an outlier there. This is just a monthly spend versus average. So we see January and June didn't spend anything significant. And then October and December, we did spend quite a bit more. Spend by category, professional services. Spend by business unit is strangely equal. So I'm wondering if it did that properly. I guess we could go over to the anomalies dashboard that it made here and take a look and see what we've got by business unit. Yeah, and it looks like they did spend basically the same amount of money. So that all looks pretty good. So the next thing I want to do here is create a profit and loss statement. But of course, we don't have any profit here. This is all expenses. So I'm going to have it create some more dummy data for us in a tab called revenue, 5 columns, 50 rows of dummy data in 2025. And then these are going to be the headers. So let's run this. Now I've got my dummy data populated here. You can see the products look like similar products. We have the revenue amount here, and then I added a commission amount column here just because I wanted to have a cost of goods sold in our profit and loss statement. So let's go ahead and have that created now. Based on the expenses and revenue tabs, please create a monthly profit and loss statement, then generate a few infographics for a PowerPoint presentation for the board of directors. All right, let's run that. Okay, so this looks like it's done. I'm going to go ahead and close the Claude tab so we can actually see things. And we're going to go into our P&L. And so you can see that it's done a monthly P&L. It's populated everything from the other tabs. We've got our revenue, gross profit, operating expenses, total op expenses, net income, and then some percentages there. So that all looks really good. Let's go over to the board deck charts. You can see it produced all the data it's going to use in the charts here. And then we can actually see the charts listed down here. Now, let's move them over to a PowerPoint so we can present them to the board of directors. Let me open this up again. And then what we need to do here is click on Settings. And then I'm going to say, let Claude work across files. If I check that, I'm going to say, turn this on in Claude PowerPoint to let Claude work across both apps seamlessly. All right, so let's open up our PowerPoint, which is here. There's Claude there. I'm going to go ahead and hit settings. It looks like that was already turned on, so we're good there. And now look, you can see this is book 1, the book I just created, is visible here in PowerPoint. And if we go back to Excel and we look up here, we can see that this is the PowerPoint that I just created here. So now let's get these charts and some of the tables into a PowerPoint presentation. Go down here and we're just going to paste a very simple prompt using the tables and charts from the spreadsheet, create a 10-slide presentation for the board of directors. And that should do it. Let's push play and let her go. As a quick aside, Lot Learns is offering a new AI and automation education platform specifically for your business. Join a community of like-minded professionals to learn advanced prompting techniques, workflow automations, custom GPTs, Google Gems, AI and social media, and a whole bunch more with new courses launching each month. Hooray, it's done. So let's take a look at what we got here. Start from the top, slider, executive summary. Wow, it actually did some real analysis. These are the graphs that we saw earlier. This is a new one, so that's cool. Professional services, definitely more expensive. And then at the very bottom, it actually did key takeaways and outlook, and it gave us strengths and areas to watch. So not only did it create a really cool PowerPoint presentation that looks nice and professional, it gave us some really nice insights as well. Very cool. The next use case is going to be finding errors in your spreadsheets. And if you're like me, this has been an absolutely mind-numbing time suck, and I'm really happy that it does this well. So let's run through an example here. I created a couple of errors. So I spelled sum wrong here, so it's giving me an invalid formula. And then the P&L statement, I created a circular reference here, which means the sum is included in the formula. So it's actually adding the answer to the answer, which is a circular formula. Okay, so let's go here and say, can you please find and correct errors in this workbook? So I'm going to go over to a different tab, and you can see that I'm in a different area entirely, and I'm just going to let this run and see what it does. Okay, it says it fixed them both, so let's go take a look here. Here's the total commissions, and it looks like it has removed the extra M from sum, and so we've got the actual calculation done properly there. And then the second issue on the P&L statement is here, and this is where the circular reference was here. So it picked them both up, which is great. And just so you know, if you have a really complicated spreadsheet with lots of data and lots of formulas, it'll actually go and find all sorts of errors for you or correct anything that might be in there. So it's actually very, very powerful. The last use case I want to share with you here is around formatting. So let's say we want to change the look of this particular P&L statement. I'm going to go ahead and say, can you please change the formatting of the P&L statement? And we'll let that run. Okay, so it finished up. Let's go ahead and take a look at what we got here. Looks like it changed some text color, and then it had the stripes here, changed a few of the other formats, and all in all, I think it looks pretty nice. So here is the before, and here is the after. Big difference. Still not impressed? All right, here's a quick hit list of things it can do. Dynamic forecasting. It can construct 12-month or even 5-year revenue models. It automates debt schedules and returns analysis. It calculates unit economics like ARR, churn rate, and LTV. For address parsing, it can split messy, full-string addresses into clean columns for street, city, state, and zip. It identifies and removes duplicate rows while prioritizing the most recent entry. It builds what-if grids to visualize IRR across various exit multiples. It fixes date formats so it lines up with the region. It has smart name cleaning, so it scrubs company suffixes like INC or LLC and extracts company names from email domains. It has sentiment tagging, so it extracts meaning from customer feedback by automatically tagging sentiment and topics, and a whole bunch more. So I hope that helps. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time.